So in the today's session, so we are going to see about that one, that SQL database overview in the Azure platform. So you know that one SQL database. So is that on-premises database available as Microsoft, right? It is called that SQL Server. So the same one, it will be available in the cloud, the Azure cloud environment also. Here it is called that one Azure SQL database. So now we are going to see that one, how we can use that Azure SQL database in the cloud environment. What are the features are available in that Azure SQL databases? That means how we can use it, the security perspective, that masking, is there anything available or not? So that features actually we are going to see it here. So the overview of that Azure SQL database. So that Azure SQL database, we can say like that SQL database as a service. It is one of the service, the database service and the Azure platform. So we can say that one SQL database as a service. Also, we can say that platform as a service. Platform as a service, already we discussed that introduction, right? So that platform as a service. So in the cloud environment, we will have that one virtual machine along with that our software. That software means that SQL database software. So you are going to create that SQL database means you are creating one virtual machine behind. So that virtual machine is going to be there along with that your software. That software is SQL database. So since it's available, the database is available, software is available, you can start that development, right? So we can say that one is called PaaS, platform as a service. Fine. This SQL, the Azure SQL database, it's using the SQL Server database engine. The SQL database using that SQL Server database, the on-premises SQL Server, what it is using now. So it is using that SQL Server database engine only for that. Actually, you will write the query, you will create the table, you will create the databases, everything actually. So the objects you will create it, but all the objects, whatever you are creating, so that execution, so will be handled by that the SQL Server database engine, the same SQL Server database engine here in the Azure SQL database using. Right? Fine. Now, the flavors of Cloud SQL database. Actually, you are going to use the SQL database, but here flavors are there. So that means how we are going to use the SQL database. So it depends upon that business scenario. You may create that existing SQL database which is available in that our Azure cloud. So that one you can create it. Or else you can create that one virtual machine. Just that means like IaaS. You can create that one virtual machine. After that, you can install that to a SQL database. So that scenario, for example, the on-premises you are using nowadays, that on-premises you are having the license for the 5 years. Already it's completed 3 years, something like that one. Already it's completed 3 years. Remaining 2 years validity is there for your license. So that one, you want to use it in the cloud. Why? Because now your company decided to migrate into the Azure platform. So you want to migrate all the business data into that your Azure cloud. But your license you are having for that cloud environment, sorry, on-premises environment. But remaining 2 years, I'm having the validity for my license. Now, they are giving that offer like that one. I can use the same software. That means here in the cloud environment, I'm going to create that one virtual machine in that virtual machine, I can install that my software. So install that my software. So that software actually, so that existing license what I'm having for the on-premises, that one I can use it. So in the cloud environment for the remaining 2 years. But cost, so they will give some offering price because at existing I'm using that on-premises license. That license here also I can use it, right? So that one, so I can use it here in that virtual machine. I can install that software. So the existing SQL database creation is separate process. Creating one virtual machine and installing that your SQL database is a separate process. So two types of features are available. So these two types of features actually, so it's called the different flavors of the cloud SQL database. So one is that Azure SQL database, another is that SQL virtual machine. So that Azure SQL database, now that database will be available. So when you are creating the database, automatically in the behind one virtual machine will be created. That virtual machine here, it is going to be so have with that your SQL database. That is a PaaS, platform as a service. Or else, if you want to use that your existing license, then you want to use that one virtual machine only, and you have to install that SQL software. So then virtual machine, which will support for that your SQL server, SQL database, that virtual machine, you can create it, and then you can install that your database. It's called IaaS, infrastructure as a service. So two flavors are there. So depends upon that your business. Actually, it is not your responsibility. Don't worry about that one. So that your business project people actually and your architect team and your business analyst all sit together and discussed, and then so they will create that setup. They will decide that creation of the your environment setups. So you don't worry about that one because you are going to work as a database data engineer. So that environment creation, that environment setup, everything it will take care by that your architect, the solution architect will take care of that one. So you don't worry about it. But you should know that process. You should have the idea about that resources, what you are having in the cloud for the databases. So these are the flavors of that. Fine. Now, the features of the SQL database, the Azure SQL database. So we are having different features. All these features, that one by one, we will see in that hands-on. So don't worry about that one. So now we are going to discuss about that features. What are the features are available in the SQL database? So one is that business continuity and high availability, auditing, integration with the Power BI, dynamic data masking, elastic pools, flexible pricing configuration, Azure hybrid build. These are all the features. But what are all these? So these all are nothing but the features. But each one, what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of business continuity and high availability? Business continuity and high availability. See, imagine I'm having that database center in one of the place. Take it example like that one, since you are also have idea about that India locations. So imagine I'm having that my data center, the Delhi. I'm having the data center in the Delhi for my business. So throughout the country, from wherever you're accessing my business application, all the data coming and stored into that my data center where I'm having that data center. That means the location, that Delhi, right? Unfortunately, imagine, unfortunately, some disaster happened in that place where I'm having my data center. So due to the heavy rain or storm or flood, that area where I'm having that my data center totally affected. I lost that internet connection, power connection, everything I lost it. Imagine like that. Then my data center will not function, right? If my data center is not functioning means my business applications backend will not work. Whatever the customers are trying through that my business application, it will throw the error. It will throw the error. So here, suppose the new customer, they are trying to register themselves, but they cannot do it. Why? Because now my data center is not available. So here, what is the meaning? My business continuity affected. My business continuity affected. There is no availability of my business data center, the database. You got it? Actually, every business, the standard business, what they will do it now. Actually, they will not do this way. That means they will not keep that only one data center environment. They will have that secondary database data center environment. They will have that secondary data center. For example, in the same scenario, I'm going to have that my Delhi data center as my primary data center, and I'm going to have that one more data center environment, that Bangalore, one in North India and one in South India. So this Bangalore database, actually, it will be act like the secondary for my business, the secondary database. So here, what I will do it now, that Delhi data center will perform like my primary data center, and the Bangalore data center will perform like that my secondary data center. Unfortunately, because of some natural disaster, if my Delhi data center got affected now, automatically it will take that my secondary data center which is available in that Bangalore location. At that time, my business application can interact with my data, my database. So my business continuity will not affect. So the high availability will be there. So I will not lose my customers. Got it? So this type of concept is called that business continuity and high availability. This future we can implement in that Azure SQL database. Fine. And the auditing. Auditing. So actually, I'm having my database, business data, everything is there. I'm having that 5 members team or 10 members team. I'm having all 10 members. We are working in the same databases. Everyone having that separate task. Unfortunately, one of the member deleted that one of the important business data. Actually, I want to know that one. Who are accessing my databases? Who are using my databases? Who are logging into that my database? I know that one. And what they are doing, what action they are doing on my data. I want to know that one. Some people work in that shift basis, or morning shift or evening shift. So the different, so country location that they are using now. So the different timing actually, so they will use it. So who are accessing my database and what time they are accessing, what action they are doing in that my database. I want to know that one. That log information I need. Using that log information, I can find out what action so done by so whom. I can find out. That type of feature is called that auditing. So everything will be tracked. So that tracking information will be stored somewhere. So this feature is called that auditing. That information, everything I will show you somewhere means where it will be stored, how we can show that auditing details. I will show in that hands-on, but don't worry. So the auditing, so tracking that your actions in that your database. Fine. Okay, right. The next one, integration with the Power BI. What is the meaning of integration with the Power BI? Power BI is a reporting tool. The Power BI is a data analyst tool. You can analyze your business data using that BI tool. After analyzing that your business data, you can create the dashboard, that report. The dashboard will show you that your business in the graphical way. The charts, you know, right? The charts, Power BI report, actually you can create it by referring that charts. You can find out that your business volume, that how it is growing and where it is growing, so where it is getting down. Everything you can analyze it. So here, all my business data, if I'm having in that Azure SQL database now, so the Power BI is a separate tool. Azure SQL database is a separate tool. I want to get the data from my Azure SQL database to the Power BI. So then that SQL database should support for the integration with the Power BI. Yes, it is supporting. Both are Microsoft product only. It's supporting. So from the Power BI, you can access the data with your SQL database, Azure SQL database. So integration with the Power BI, yes, it's possible. And dynamic data masking. What is the meaning of dynamic data masking? See, I'm not sure about that one, how many people use like that, we have seen it. Some of the places, see for example, so if you are getting that your, even that, what is that one? When you are withdrawing money from the ATM machine, so you are getting the slip, right? In the slip actually, so that amount will be there, but the account details, it will not show the full numbers. The account numbers, it will not show that full numbers. It will show that some asterisk symbols and three digits or 4 digits only, it will show it. And some of the business application, when you are seeing that your data, suppose that data, if you are having that your personal information like that your credit card number or passport number, so those type of information, it will not show the full details. Suppose if you are having that your credit card details, the credit card details, it will show like that one first to 4 digits. The next 4 digits, it will be like that one asterisk symbol or X symbol, and another 4 digits, it will be in that X symbol, or last 4 digits, it will be visible. You can decide it how you want to show that one, but the full information, it will not show. So those type of hiding the data is called that dynamic data masking. Dynamically, it will be masked when you are fetching the data. If you don't have the permission to view that data, you cannot see that one. You will see that masked data only. Suppose you are the senior person or that admin person, you want to see that one. So we can give the permission. Who can see the data? We can give the permission. So we can mask the data. So the masking. So why we are doing that masking? So the data should not be visible for all the users for all the time. Depends upon the role, I want to give that visibility. It should not be visible to all the employees, all the team members. It depends upon your business. So that masking, so we can implement in that Azure SQL database, the dynamic data mask. Fine, that feature also available here. Okay, next one, elastic pools. The elastic pools actually distributing that your we can say like that one your process, that memory usages. It will be so little bit confusing here. So this one will be very easy to understand when we are having that hands-on part, or after seeing that at least one example using that SQL database. So at that time, I will explain very clearly what is the meaning of elastic pools and flexible pricing configuration. So I said you can create that your Azure SQL database, right? If you are creating that Azure SQL database now, here everything is cost, right? It's charged. They are charging that amount. So here, for what purpose you are going to use that your SQL database? Based on that one, we can choose the configuration. The configuration what you are choosing, Based on that, the amount will be charged. You know that one, if you are purchasing that one laptop with that 1 GB hard disk, it's some amount, different amount. If you are purchasing one laptop with that 1 TB hard disk and 1 GB RAM, so that configuration is different, then the cost will be different. It will be some high amount because that hard disk and RAM memory, everything. So you are getting that more. So then the charges, the amount, it will be high. So that machine configuration, so what you are choosing, based on that one, that amount will be there. The same way here, actually, if you are creating the SQL database, means what is the meaning of that one? In the behind, you are creating that one virtual machine. That virtual machine should have that configuration. That configuration, what you are going to select, based on that one, your charges will be applied. If you are going to use that machine for the development purpose, or if you are going to use that machine for that means machine means SQL database, that cloud SQL database, that Azure SQL database, that Azure SQL database, you are going to use it for that your production purpose. So whatever the purpose you are going to use it, based on this purpose, you have to choose the configuration. The configuration what you are selecting, based on the configuration, the amount will get varied. So it will be vary. The same amount which they are charging for the production, development, the same amount they cannot charge it for the production, because the production is a very secure area and high future should be there. The high performance should be there. So then they will charge some different amount, that extra amount they will charge it when you are using that. So production, so high cost it will be there for the production environment database. Same time development purpose, if you are going to use it now, so some lower amount they will charge it. So flexible pricing configuration. This is the flexible pricing configuration. What and where you are going to use it, based on that one, the pricing will be calculated. This one also I will show you. Everything I will show you in the hands-on. Don't worry. Hands-on available for every scenarios. And Azure hybrid benefit. This is nothing but already we discussed, right? So that on-premises license, if you want to use it with that your cloud now, so yes, it's possible. That feature is called hybrid benefit. Hybrid now combination of two, right? So the two features. Already discussed about the hybrid cloud. The private and combination of private and public cloud is called the hybrid. Same way on-premises. So to cloud, you can use that your existing license. So that feature here, it is called that hybrid benefit. These are the features we are having in that our Azure SQL database. Now, let's get into that our portal, how we can create that SQL database. Let's see. So you should have that Azure account or that sandbox server. You should have it. That sandbox server creation, and after that one, regular account creation. Everything I will show you in that our regular session from that our next week. Okay. Now I will show you in the hands-on using that my credential, my account, my subscription, the pay-as-you-go subscription. I will show. So you have to get into that your portal. That portal URL. This is the one. The portal.azure.com. The portal.azure.com. This is your URL. So here, once you logged in using that your credential in this URL, you will get into that your portal landing page. From the landing page, I shown you that yesterday session. So one of this way, you can create that your resource. So here, what I want to create, I want to create my SQL database in this cloud environment. So I have to select one of this searching way, and I have to search this in the database in the search box. Then I have to click the create option. And once you created now, so once you click that create button, create option now, it will be navigated to this page. It will be navigated to this page. See here, you have to select that your subscription, and you have to select that resource group, and you have to select that database name and server, and whether you are using that elastic pool or not, and you have to select that your configuration compute plus storage, then you have to review it. All these steps we have to do it. Actually, what is this? That's actually each step. What is this? Subscription? Yes, we know that one. In the cloud, we are working means we should have that one subscription, because under the subscription, whatever resources we are using, all the resources billing will be applied under that subscription. So based on that, our subscription only that, and based on that resource usages, they are going to calculate that bill amount. So that subscription so will be generated invoice for the subscription every month, right? So subscription you should have it, that subscription. So first time if you are having that free trial now, so free trial will be there. After that pay as you go, pay as you go. So mine is pay as you go. So the pay as you go subscription, it's selected here. Okay, fine. What is the resource group? Actually here the resources, we are going to learn different resources like Azure SQL database, Azure data lake storage, Azure blob storage, Azure data factory, so logic apps, key vault. Like this, we are going to use the different resources, right? Each one is called a resource. See, in the Azure platform, if you are going to create that any one resource means that resource should come under that one of the resource group, that is mandatory one. The resource, it should come under that one of the resource group. So you have to create that one resource group, or else you have to use that one resource group which is already exists. Without using that resource group, you cannot create that any resource. This is a mandatory. So this is the one mandatory one. So we can think like that one. Without any resource group, we cannot create that any resource in the Azure platform. This is one important point. So we should have that. Actually, in the real-time environment, how we will have it now? One resource group, we will for that our development purpose. So in that development resource group, we will have that all the resources, whatever we are using for our project. Another one resource group will be there, like that one testing environment. So that resource group, so we'll have that same type of setup. Then finally, we will have that our production resource group. Resource group is nothing but your like parent folder. That parent folder going to have that all the child folders like that. So resource group now. So collection of resources going to be there. That collection of resources. So for the each environment, we have to keep it as a separate group. One for the development, another one for that production, another one for the testing. Like that, we have to keep the different resource groups. Suppose if you are using that working with the multiple projects now, every project we will have that separate resource group. So it's a group which is going to have that all the resources which is related to that our project. So resource group should be there. Fine. Then here actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the database. I'm going to create the database. See the database, if you are going to use that one now. See the database, if you are going to create means database you cannot create directly. Database should be created under the server. Under the server only. So that server should be there. If it is not available means you have to create the server. Under the server, you have to create that database. You have to create that database. So if you are going to create that your database means first there should be a database server. If the database server is not available now, you have to create that database server. Then you have to create the database. Inside of the database, what you can do it now, you can create that tables. The table is going to be there inside of that your database. This is the hierarchy level. So here, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create the database, for example, in the name of my demo DB, but I should have that database server. If it is not available now, I have to create it. For the creation, if you click this create new option now, see here, the right side will pop up is there. Like this one, actually, it's an old screen, so pop-up was there, but now it will be so the one full screen. So it will be navigated to that one new screen. So that new screen will have these input boxes. Here you can create that your server first. The server first you can create it. What is the server name you are going to have it? That server name you can give it here. And server, if you are creating, means for that server you should have that credential, the login credential. You should have it. It's a database server. The database server should not be an anonymous one. So login credential, you have to create it. So that login credential, so here, so I'm going to use that admin login name and password, confirm password. Okay, fine. But location, what is the meaning of location? One important thing is, in the Azure platform, whatever resource you are going to select, every resource, you will select the location. You will select the location. Any resource you are creating, the selection, you have to select the location. What is the meaning of that one? See here, actually, Microsoft, what they are doing now, they are having different data centers, the different locations. Actually, they're having the different data centers, the different location. See here, so imagine these all are different locations. Imagine like this. Okay, so the high level I'm telling you. So this is one data center place, and this is one data center place. Okay, so here, so imagine this is my US data center. Okay, so this is my India data center or Asia. So this is my Europe data center, something one of the country in that Europe. I'm having a lot of data centers they are having. Just I have taken only 3. Okay, so data centers I'm having. Data centers I'm having. So the data centers means this all the server setup, all the software record, everything. It will be available at every location. Every location will be there. So imagine I am working for the US client. I am working for the US client. So my client all are there, the US. But I am working from India. I want to create first from the scratch. I'm going to develop one project. Imagine like that. So I want to create all the resources. So then now when I'm creating that my resources, so what are the resources I need now? I need that one SQL database. I need that one SQL database. Okay. And I need that one ADF. I need that one ADF. Right? So that ADF, if you're going to use it now, so that ADF, all I want to keep it in that my location where it is there. So in that our US location. All the resources I want to create in that US data center only. Why? Because now this data going to access frequently by the user from the US, not from the India. I am the developer. I am working from the India, but I am not the end user. The end user now who going to use that your business data frequently. So those users are available in the US only. Then my data should be in that US data center only. Then only that traveling of the data, right? It will be so reduced. If the data transaction time, if it is getting reduced, means that performance will get increased. Will get quick the response. The response it will be very quick, right? So location selection also important. But that location, how you have to select it now? You have to select that location based on that your customer, the end user, who going to access your business data frequently. Based on that one, you have to select that location. Got it? So fine. Now the location selection is one of the important. So here, just the default one is the ESTS that I'm showing this. And once you create that your database server, the SQL Elastic Pool option by default it will be no. I will explain it very detail in the later session. And the configuration, the default one, so that one also I will explain the later session. So by choosing all these options, we can create that our database. So once you click the create now, so that your database deployment, it will be in progress. Once the progress is completed now, deployment completed, it means deployment completed. Deployment completed means now that your database system, the behind is ready. So that means your cloud SQL database is ready. You can start to use it. Okay, fine. So let's get into that our portal. So here, so portal.azure.com, this is our URL. As I said, so I'm going to use that my credential now, that the regular session, I will show you how to create that sandbox server. After that one, I will show you how to create that your account. Okay, first sandbox server, we can use it in that our regular session. So until completing that part actually, so you don't want to create that your account using the credit card. After the sandbox server, it will be in 5-6 classes, it will be helpful. So after that one, you can create that your account. But now I'm going to show you using that my pay-as-you-go subscription. This is my credential. So log in into that one. So the portal.azure.com URL. So I'm logging in. Fine. Now, so that database I want to create. So here it is available. Suppose if it is not listing out now, you can search it here. So SQL, the databases. SQL databases. You can click this one. And so this page will be opened here. So create a SQL database or this create as option. So either one of this one, you can click the create. And here, so they are giving some offering like this one. So apply offer preview. So until this week or seconds. So that week or second, it's a configuration of that your machine, the virtual machine. So 1 lakh week or machine. So it will not be any charges. So that I'm going to use that one. We are going to create that one sample database only. So it is not going to be charged anything. So that I'm going to apply this offer. Fine. Now the subscription. As of now, I'm having that pay-as-you-go only. Free trial, it will not be work out for me. It's already expired so few years back. So I'm using that pay-as-you-go. That means that resource, whatever I'm using here, it will be chargeable. I will show you that billing process, that subscription details, everything that after this one. So that my subscription, the pay-as-you-go and the resource group. Here, as of now, I don't have that any resource group, so that I'm going to create that one resource group. So first time if you are using that means now, you can create that resource group here. As I told you in the beginning, so that every day, just create everything and delete it everything. So there will be two benefits. One is that one, if you delete everything daily now, so you will not maintain anything. So that means you are not using that any storages. Okay. So then the charges it will be very less. Also, so if you are creating again and again the hands-on perspective, you will get that more experience on the using of that your Azure. So two benefits are there. Okay. So now I'm going to create that new resource group. Simply I'm creating that one resource group in the name of RG. Usually in the real time, that every resource group will have that name along with that your project. Some naming convention they will follow. Okay. So if my project is something ABC project now, so ABC underscore RG, and then resource group is the dev environment now. So ABC underscore dev underscore RG. like that we will create. So this ABC is representing that my project name, and dev is representing that environment, and RG is representing this resource is a resource group. Okay, so like that. But here I'm using that one RG. Fine. Now you can give that your database name. Simply I'm going to use that one, the demo DB. Same way, the project related name, we will give it in the real time. Here I'm using the demo DB. Okay, fine. As of now, I don't have that any server, so that I have to create that new server. Click the server, create new. See here the server name. Standard one, the database.windows.net. Before this one, you have to give that your server name. The server name, as usual, that project relevant name you can give it. So here I'm using that one SQL Server Siva. The real time we will give that our project related relevant name we have to give it. But now I'm using that one SQL Server Siva. Right? So the database.windows.net. Fine. That location. So as I told the Microsoft, they're having that different data centers. So East US, East US 2, South Central US, West US, West US 3, 2, 3. So Asia Pacific, Australia East, Asia Pacific, Southeast Asia. So North Europe like that, they're having so different environments, the different data centers. So the global, they are covering the globe. Yeah. So, so as I said, so that based on that your customer, where the customers are there, so who's going to use that your database frequently, based on that one, you have to select that your location. See, again, I'm telling you, don't worry about all these selections, because these all are going to be guide you by that your architect people. Okay, so you don't worry about that one. But why I'm explaining all these things very detailed and slowly now? So you are new to this platform, and this platform features maximum whatever we can understand. You should know that one actually, right? So that's the reason actually. So I'm explaining everything. So this will be very helpful to understand when you are working with that real-time environment after completing the degree, this training. So you are going to search your job like an experience in the Azure platform. At that time, you should not act like that you are the new for this Azure platform. You should act like that experienced person in that Azure. So for the purpose, you should have that at least the high level idea about all the features. So that's the reason I'm explaining all about this environment. Okay, fine. But now we are going to use that our East US only, the default one. And I'm going to use that authentication, different types of authentication. So I'm going to use that one SQL authentication. Mostly that for the database specifically, most of the environment, they may use that SQL and authentication socket. So here the SQL authentication. So this is going to be that my username admin Siva. Again, everything project related names should be used. Okay. Now, demo purpose, we are using the learning purpose, we are using so that I'm keeping that one standard name for all the trainings. Throughout the training, I'm going to use that same name. So it will be easy to understand. Okay, fine. The admin Siva, it is going to be that my username and password. You can give that one strong password. So the rule, all you have to follow. Right? And it should be matched, confirm password. Fine, click OK. Now the SQL Server Siva, so that database server is created. The database server is created. It's a new one, so it's created here, and that compute plus storage. So here I'm not going to use that compute plus storage anything. I'm not going to change anything. So this is a configuration. I said right that your SQL database you are creating means the behind one virtual machine will be created. That virtual machine configuration. So that is this is a default one. You can leave it as it is. And so these two options are so available because of that our offer. That offer, that 1 lakh offer, V4 offer we applied, right? Because of that one, it is showing like that. So and networking, you don't want as of now, you don't want to do it anything. So now, you don't want to do it anything, you can leave it. So as it is, after creating, I will tell you so what you want to do. But as of now, you can leave it as it is. So here, so see here, since we have created that our 1 lakh week or free option. So first 1 lakh week or seconds free now. So there is no any amount charging. But if you are not taking that offer, or if you are going to use that one more than 1 lakh seconds now, week or seconds, the week or seconds now, the running time, the execution time. Okay, so if it is going to take it more than 1 lakh now, then the amount will be charged. Okay, fine. Now it is showing that zero cost. And security, nothing to do now. And go there, the tags, additional settings, nothing to that. So you can come to that review plus create, and that things what you have selected, all it will be listed out here. You can review it. If suppose if you want to do any changes now, you can click the previous, or else you can click the create. I'm going to click the create. I did not select that any features in the network setting, just I'm creating as it is. Yeah. So the deployment initializing. So here the deployment started, submitting. So your deployment. So now the deployment is in progress. So deployment is in progress now. So behind what will be happen now? It will create one virtual machine for you. That virtual machine, it will be supporting for the SQL enrollment. So after creating that virtual machine, which is going to support for the SQL, in that virtual machine, it will create that your SQL server. So we have created that SQL server, right? Once the SQL server is created now, then inside of that one, it will create that one database in our name what we have selected. This is a flow will be happen behind. So it will take some time. We'll wait for some time. Yes, now the deployment is completed. See here. So your deployment is complete. and click the go to resource. If you click that go to resource now, it will be navigated to the database. So here now we are in that our database overview page. So this is our database overview page. Here you can see that one, so the server detail, SQL servers, and the resource group name, so RG. We have created the name of RG only. And status online. That means your database is active. And location ESTS. Subscription pay as you go. So connection string. So the database connection string. So it will be available here. Suppose if you want to use that for that any of the coding purpose now, from here you can take it. So this is that your so config details. Yeah. So this is our connection string configuration, connection string details. And here the pricing tier. So free general purpose service Gen 5.2 B course. So pricing tier on this. So pricing tier actually it is telling like that one. So what configuration you have selected. So that pricing details it will show it here. As of now, it's a free only. So we have selected that 1 lakh seconds free offer, so that it is showing that free. And so overage billing details disabled and auto post delay. So these all are about that where so billing and then auto post or delay option is 1 hour means that 1 hour actually if it is nothing is used in that your database now, then it will stop that running that process. So every 1 hour. So every 1 hour it will be calculated that billing everything like that one. Yeah. So these all are that. So the configuration related things here you can see that one, that 1 lakh seconds remaining, the free monthly core. So that based on that your execution, that query execution, that running time of that your machine, this seconds will be calculated. So how you are running that machine or how long you are running that machine. So that seconds it will be calculated. Okay. So 1 lakh seconds. So more than 1 lakh seconds, if you are going to run it now. So after that one, it will start to charge some amount. Fine. Now, I want to get into that my database table, or first I want to get into that my database. Then I want to create that my table in the database. How I can do it? See from here, you can see this one, the query editor option, right? The left side pan, you can see that one, the query editor. I'll open it in that new tab. See here, it is going to open that new tab, which can support for login into that your database. This is the UI. So that username, admin Siva, and here I'm going to pass that my password. And now I'm going to click that OK. See here what happening now. I'm trying to log in, but it is not allowing. See here, reason, an instance specific error occurred while establishing a connection to the SQL server. While establishing a connection to the SQL server, some specific error, instance error occurred. Connection was denied. Connection was denied. Actually, what we have done it now, we have created the SQL database, but we did not do that any of the network configuration. I showed you, right? Network tab actually, I did not select or I did not choose anything. Right? So now I'll show you what I want to do. Suppose if it is denied now, you have to go to that set server firewall. See here in the overview tab, the overview page, here we are having that set firewall, server firewall. So server firewall setting, we have to do it. Once you click that one, it will be navigated to this page. The public access now it's disabled. So the network public access for this database server, it's disabled. Then what you have to do? You have to make the selected network option. Okay. It is selected means. Then firewall rules you have to add it. Add your client IP. Actually, from this machine, I'm going to access my database. So this machine IP, this is a dynamic IP. So the IP, what it is generating, that IP, I want to add it in that firewall rules, then only I can access my database. So click this one. So added now, and here one more option, the exceptions allow Azure service and resources to access the server. This one also you have to check it. I will tell you later why we have to check it. So these two, so you have to do it whenever you are creating new server, new database, right? So the new server, if you are creating now, this firewall setting is important. So click the save. Fine, it's saved actually. Successfully updated server exception, successfully updated the server firewall rules. Two things we have added. So those two things, those two changes saved now. Here. Good. Now, come back. Now, click the OK. I can able to log in. Yes. I got into that my database. The left side, you can see that folders, tables, views, store procedures. So these all are that our database objects. If you want to create that new SQL database, here I can write the query, create. I'm going to create the table, I'll write database there. I'm going to create the table, create table. What is the table name? Simply I'm going to create that one table in the name of customer. The customer table, what are the columns going to be there? Customer ID. The column data type, what is that one? Integer. So that column name, customer name. This is going to be that string data type, so that varchar I'm going to choose it. And customer location. So this is also going to be the string data type, so that I'm going to use that varchar. So varchar of size, so 50 characters maximum. This is the way you have to write the query for creating the table. And if you want to run it now, so before that one, I will expand this table and I will show you nothing in there. Right? So now click the run button. And so once the run is completed now, so query succeeded, and click the refresh here, you can see that your table. See here, yes, my table is there. And expand this one, you can see that all the columns, these are all my columns, so the respective data types. I have created my table here. Got it? So this is the way we can create that our Azure SQL database, and after creating that database, we can create the table and we can use it like this. So in the cloud environment itself, if you want to write that your queries now, but the query editor window, you can open it, the query editor option. So it will be available in the left side pane. So from here, you can use it. But in the real time, usually maximum of the time, we will not use this query editor window. This environment is not the user-friendly environment. Very shortest query like this one, simple query, I want to write it immediately, I want to check it. So I can use it. But the real time, 99% we will not use this query editor window for interacting with your Azure databases. Then what we will use it? So that our external tool, we will use it. That external tool, SQL Server Management Studio and our Azure Studio. So those two tools, we will use it. Those two tools, how to use it, and how we can use that our Azure SQL Studio, Azure Studio. So though all those things, I will show you that our one of the upcoming session. So that's all about that our SQL overview part. And the next session, so we will continue with that our Azure features, whatever we have seen in the Azure features. All the topic one by one, we will continue. So that features and configuration details, we will see it in that our next session. And then we will go with that our what is that one? So this auditing features, that dynamic data masking features, elastic field features. So hybrid benefit is one of the option in these features. Okay, and how to connect with that our Power BI. So all those things that one by one. So mostly each one will be in that one separate session. One separate session will be there. So I will show you that one, each one by one, the hands-on. So that our upcoming sessions. Okay. So that's all for the day. Next session. So we will connect the next day, same time.